Okay.
Look, we are Utah's most awarded podcast show.
My side is.
Wait a minute. Why do I only get the little one?
Erin is just a little sad. And that's, let me see this, for participating. There you go. Okay, there we go.
Some of those trophies could be mine.
I'm the girl dancing, so you just get used to that. If you
Happy
are
Monday.
watching, hi, how are you? I have no computer today, so I have no idea what's ever going on in the world.
But you do have your little crumpled list, and I think that's all that matters.
The entire show is right here. If you are, give them the date. What date is it?
Today?
Yes.
Aw, man.
It's on your computer right there.
Oh, yeah, 6/18.
6/18. If you're watching this in Salt Lake Valley, we had a hailstorm go through. Can we show that video?
Seriously, Mike, thank you for catching this.
Yeah. We were looking out the back window. Here it is. Ouch. Ow.
Holy freaking crap.
Ouch. Ouch.
And it's all gone now. It was gone by the time I got out to the studio.
It's just down in the sandy mid-valley area, and it went off into the mountains.
Wow.
And everybody's saying it was really hard hail, as opposed to mushy kind. It was like pounding.
Which golf ball size really is a lot less fun.
Quarter size.
No, I saw some pictures. There was one it was a good golf ball
Those
size.
people save those for years in their freezer just to pull them out for this.
Do they really?
And why is it always a golf ball? Why do they refer to it as a golf ball size?
It could be like a ping pong ball.
Well, I guess.
It's a ping pong ball size. Wow.
If you wake up in the morning
Holy
and you
crap.
didn't know it hailed, here's one telltale sign of it, is that if you didn't think you'd be, yeah, look at that. Yeah, if you didn't think you'd be raking leaves, check this out. If you, oh, there you go.
Oh, wow. See? Close up. Mike understands.
Nice job.
Wow, Mike, that's amazing. What a great shot.
Oh, look, the lone hail.
And look at the crystalline drop.
The
meltiness.
The hailet.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, so
This
the
is why I
valley
so
got
love
nailed.
Utah's awesome randomness. It's like, sure, it's sunny.
This is what you're going to be doing today if you live in this area. You're going to be raking leaves because the hail just shreds them, which is cool.
amazing.
And the problem with this is, and driving I-15 southbound today, coming down to do the show, suddenly, I don't know what it is, and all of a sudden the roads got shiny. There was no storm. It's gone. The roads are wet. And suddenly everybody's like, oh, no, it's shiny. And everybody slows down, like different lanes at different speeds. And you're like, what the hell are you doing? Oh, no.
They come up with, like a generalized response of fear and horror. That's
a
fine.
sea monster's going to come out and eat my dog. Just drive consistently. That's all I'm going to say. We saw we'll talk about this Incredibles.
Incredible.
I'm going to save this for that. So last night, I usually don't involve our bedroom activity in the show. But for today's show, I'm going to. So the kids were put to bed last night. Decided to watch maybe a little flick on Netflix. Both cuddled down in bed. Erin takes out her laptop and opens up Pokemon Go.
All right. I would like to point out that because my bitter refusal to upgrade my phone to the next 3 iOS things, because I hate them and they always ruin my life, Pokemon Go will no longer be supported on my platform. And I'm like, I was your friend from the second you opened up.
How long
Every
has it been
freaking
since you
day.
played?
3 months at least.
Have I ever complained?
About me playing Pokemon Go?
Yeah.
All the freaking time.
Oh, yeah, maybe so.
But after the last 3 months, I said, no, screw you. And I angrily and stubbornly stopped because you can't force me to upgrade my freaking phone if I don't want to.
So last night...
So move on, Pokemon Go.
It's about 11:15, and we're watching...
But my iPad has been upgraded because Zoe keeps doing it.
Right.
So.
And all of a sudden, it comes up, and evidently something called a whale appeared.
Whalmer.
So
And
Erin...
I got one of the special lavender ones. Oh, my.
Immediately runs into her bathroom because it's closer.
I selected our house because it was right next to 7 Pokestops. Right across the street, there's a mansion with all this statuary that they made into Pokestops. I can walk right across the street. And
About 20 minutes later at 11:15.
It was actually 1:30.
Erin gets up and puts pants on and leaves the house.
I just went across the street.
I, being the concerned husband, turned the lights off and went to sleep. How long were you out there?
Well, it was a little awkward because I went out twice. First of all, there were a bunch of Magikarp, and I've had that one Magikarp I've been waiting to turn into a Gyarados because it was going to be the red one. And I have waited forever for this. And then there were more of the Whalmers, and then there were a couple of the Mudflaps, which I can never seem to get enough of, and I hate those things because I always screw them up. And so I came in, and then all of a sudden I hit the location, and all the whales and the Magikarps had popped back up, so I went back out again. And they're only doing it to lure me back in because I'm sure they track all this and they realize I haven't been on for 3 months and I hate them. But I don't know because I was able to transform my Magikarps into the red Gyarados, so I feel so much better about myself today. I feel like I accomplished.
The red what?
Gyarados.
That's like a sickness. It gives you diarrhea that comes in streams if you don't.
Dragon. But this one was red, so it was special.
Pants on, leaves the bedroom, goes across the street.
And it was raining, and I know people were driving by going, what is she doing? And I'm standing next to all these statues stabbing at my iPad, and it was just...
sad.
No, it was really satisfying, actually.
And you know what's the only revenge
and I got the pelican thing, because I'd never seen it before. It's new.
The only...
You're even taking my participation trophy.
The sad thing about it, but yet the honorable thing for me is the fact that your face is always illuminated with your screen, so anybody drives by is always like, they know who you are. That's it.
You don't think I'm already the creepy weirdo of our neighborhood?
As far as I know, you are.
Everyone else understands why I'm happy right now.
We got another video of you. Where was this that you took this video?
Oh, yesterday I was shopping because we made lemon bars for Todd for Father's Day because that's like his thing. He loves lemon bars. Zoe likes them almost more, so keeping a leg over her and trying to make the lemon bars is always the challenge.
She wants them for breakfast.
Oh, jeez.
So where were you?
Well, we were down at Smith's, and you may remember I had shot a video at Christmas time because they had these hideous Christmas-themed business suits. Now, when I say business suits, it's like the trousers, tie, business jacket.
Yeah, I have one.
A vest, and of course I bought him one because they're so stupid you have to.
Awesome.
But now there's worse. We have reached the pinnacle of marketing tackiness.
Let's see what it is. Go ahead.
Remember when I told you about the weird suits they had for Christmas? Oh my good Lord. If you're watching this, they have Uncle Sam suits. Yes, business suits that are fortunately short-sleeved in order to handle the weather. I find this one especially repellent. Wow.
Oh.
And you know the worst part? I'm so tempted to buy Todd one. And it's the short sleeves that make it just extra. What's wrong with me?
Wait, it's a short sleeve jacket?
That's a short sleeved business jacket.
Are the shorts, are the pants shorts too?
No, they're long, and then there's a vest and a tie to go with them. But a short sleeved business jacket, because there could be nothing classier. I really wanted to buy you one.
Don't.
I was disgusted and horrified and repelled, and yet still part of me went, I wonder what Todd would look like in our neighborhood parade.
Yeah.
You know, I pictured it, and then I stopped because I was giving a full body heave. But this is what we're at marketing now, where they're like, I wonder if anyone would buy this. Hey, make it. Let's see. Come on, it'll be fun.
Only costs $4 to make. This
is where we are now with merchandising. It's just
what a great way to dishonor the flag.
But at least it's a business suit. It wasn't like it was a tankini or anything.
The bathing suit you gave me has a flag on it.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was on sale at Old Navy.
World Cup. World Cup's going on. Holy crap. Or people, if you're on Facebook and such, around the world are just going berserk. Mexico over Germany was just like, what?
They're saying it was very, very cute. They're claiming that it was the goalie's grandma. Her prayers were the thing that made them win.
I go with it.
You never screw with a nana.
I go with it.
No. Well, Croatia, this is so sad. The game during Nigeria, and they were having trouble. So they tried to send in Kalinick, and he's wanted to be traded. And he was so offended about being a sub that he went, I have an injury. I can't go in.
What a puss.
And it's like the entire of Eastern Europe just lost it. They're like, what have you done?
Right.
And no one will talk to him, and they sent him home after one game in the World Cup. It was
really?
You just don't get pissy like that. You can't do that. But yeah, they were really, really, really mad. But I'm so happy for Mexico because they were just so happy. It was pretty funny though. Just the warnings in Russia. How they did all these public service announcements.
Oh, and I know which one you're talking about, which is not they talk directly to the women not to have sex with foreigners. Because
them tourists are coming in and they're vile.
Basically, back in the 80s, they had a World Cup, and they called them soccer babies.
Oh, that's funny.
And so the Germans tried to dance around the point, saying that we don't want any, now this is my take, mixed race babies. Because I don't know how to take this any other way.
Germany is one of the biggest, havens for refugees now.
Yeah.
One of the biggest in Europe.
Back then, I mean, it was just like, oh, soccer babies. And I'm like, okay, so don't have sex with people coming over.
Well, there's always safe.
We got to go for Father's Day and go see The Incredibles 2.
Which was awesome.
You have some numbers on them.
Oh, let's not do that. Oh, yeah, that's true. $180 million.
Right.
Biggest Pixar opening ever. $180 million.
I mean, breaking all kinds of rules this year.
It's right there in front, baby. I mean, just insanely lucrative. It was really freaking loud, though. I noticed that was a painfully loud movie. And there was one segment where Elastigirl is fighting the screenslaver, and there's all these violently flashing, like hypnotic lights going off.
Not violently. They did it for the effect, and it was flashy, and it was all crazy.
But it was also a very violent scene. He's tasing her, and she's beating him up. But it's a brutal scene for a good 90 seconds.
But something came out of it.
And I was not sure that Zoe should have seen it.
Right. And what came out of it?
There's now some warnings about epilepsy. Like, if this is something that sets you off, seizure-wise, this may not be a good idea. Because it was really aggressive. It was boom, 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 right in your face.
So there's amount of time if you go with someone, you can close your eyes and put your head down or whatever, and you know.
I would have liked to have been warned, because I thought that scene was too much for Zoe.
Did you?
That was brutal.
I
love the fact that Elastigirl was so powerful, and I love the fact that she really was amazing and saved the day so many times.
Right.
Samuel L. Jackson as Frozen was awesome.
He is good. Baby is the hero.
But that was a little violent.
The baby is the hero, and we're not going to say anything, because Erin likes at this point to spoil the movie for you, which she has done on 3 occasions.
That was my innocent enthusiasm.
I will point out one thing, if you have not seen this, and I want you to look for this. Are you ready? There's a brother and sister team, and they're doing a promotion to help the supers around the world. There's a brother who seems very enthusiastic. No spoiler. And then there's his sister. And she seems very enthusiastic as well.
She, by the way, reminds me, there has got to be an actress they designed her after specifically, because her look and her mannerisms.
Kind of was going someplace.
Okay, go on. I'm sorry.
So Elastigirl and her, I think there's a little sexual tension.
That was sisterhood. That was bonding. That was like, no, you stand up and take your place as a female. Really? You had to insert your filthy imagination into a children's movie?
I don't have filthy imagination most of the time. But I did not, and I noticed it, and I thought, just a touch. Just a touch. Now, if you've seen this, and you're on Facebook right now, please, are you with me? Did you get that sense? Just a little, not to ruin the movie, but there was just like, right, you know. So please, on Facebook, help me out. Just want to see if I'm the only pervert in the crowd.
I did not see that at all. I don't know where you got that from.
Yeah.
I don't know where you would get that from.
I don't mean it in a bad way. I just noticed it and was like, wow, that really stood out. Anyway, I love the movie.
It's not traditionally like you to come up with something that weird.
Exactly. See, that's the point. That I genuinely saw, and I was
maybe you had too much
she's
popcorn.
Kind of flirting with her.
Maybe you had too much of the golden flavored popcorn, and it gave you a hallucination.
And the butter flavored
it's
oil.
It's golden flavored. It's not even. They don't even attempt to pretend that there's butter involved. Now it's golden flavored.
And you know what? Over where you get, if you go to the big theaters, you'll go get your soda because they give you a cup, and you go over there, and there's a dispenser for more. And I saw this guy go over, and I could see it shiny, so we already got some. but he had that button like nailed, just holding it down. It's like he's changing oil in his car, just holding that bucket, swirling it around. I bet you there was a puddle at the bottom. It was that much. Why not just get a cup?
Oh, Carla said, no, Todd's totally seen things. I thought it was a really powerful example of female bonding as well. No, because...
I'm not trying to take anything away from it.
Oh, and Janelle said, no. She said she was trying to give her, Elastigirl was trying to give her a pep talk. Wendy actually stood up for you. She said, I could see where you would think that, Todd, about the two female characters. So Wendy at least thought
flirtatious. Maybe... That's all I'm saying. Not here to ruin the movie.
It was female bonding.
It was an awesome movie.
You know, what's funny about Pixar is that, I mean, they're relentlessly powerful. We all know it. And Incredibles 2 is obviously going to be incredible. Although $180 million for an opening weekend. Holy crap. And
at the beginning, they show this clip of all the actors apologizing for it being 14 years.
We know it's been a while.
We know. You know,
the sad part is they probably did start right after the first movie, and it took this long. We've interviewed directors before, like Brad Bird, who's the one who did Monsters, Inc., and he said, no, he goes, this is 7 years of my life.
And a lot of it's 3 years, and they lock them in a cave, and then they come out for air. Then they show the film, and then they throw them back in the cave because they did such a good job.
Did you know we're officially here in Utah the most Pixar-loving state?
I can totally understand.
Which I do. I think that's kind of
we have the most kids.
But it's interesting. CableTV.com broke down the Google Trends data to find out the most popular Pixar movies in every state.
Right.
And when they came to Utah, it was like, kaboom! And they went, you are the most Pixar-loving state. Now, the favorite film here, there's actually a 7-way tie. A Bug's Life, Brave, which I loved, Cars 3, Inside Out, Monsters, Inc., The Incredibles, and Up. So literally, that's what they mean, though, that we love Pixar movies here so much they couldn't even come up with like a specific one. It was like that big fat group of 7 were the ones we all loved the most.
Well, we are awesome.
This is true.
All right, let's get some information, shall we?
All right, we should go to Daisy. She's in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom. She is brought to you by Fink and McGregor Mortgages Made Simple. Just go to fink-mcgregor.com. By the way, within 4 minutes, they can give you a whole bunch of options of mortgages you might be available for. Plus, it usually takes less than a month, and someone can call you back within the next business day. Tell them Todd and Erin sent you. Brio Technologies, are you ready for a media wall that makes your business the most incredible thing ever? Well, these are the people to do it. You can buy, you can rent, you can lease, they'll maintain, they'll do everything for you. Just go to brioaudiovisual.com. And also by the New Millennium Financial Group. There's so many questions right now. Even a good economy could make or break your retirement. They know how to ask you the right questions to get you started. Go to utahsfinancialplanner.com. Daisy, my dear, what is going on today?
Thanks, Todd and Erin. Good morning, everyone. Here's what's making news on Monday, June 18th on GephardtDaily.com. An elderly woman is dead and her husband critically injured after being taken hostage Sunday inside their South Salt Lake home. The hostage taker, identified Monday as Abe Martinez, 44, is also dead after being shot by police. Martinez was the grandson of the elderly woman, Rose Martinez, 89, and the step-grandson of her husband. Officers were sent to the home at 451 East Stanley Avenue, 3100 South, just before 10:35 a.m., when family members called police to say a man had answered the phone at their grandparents' residence. As officers arrived at the couple's home, so too did family members. Officers tried to negotiate with the man, but were rebuffed. After the suspect was shot and killed by police, SWAT teams entered the home and found the elderly couple. One person has been hospitalized and a home has been destroyed after an early morning house fire in Payson. Firefighters from Payson and Salem fire departments were called to a single-family residence near 300 East and 400 North shortly after 12:30 a.m. Monday. When they arrived, they found the structure engulfed in smoke and flames. One person was transported to the hospital with burns, officials said. Officials are asking everyone in the area to avoid the area while crews mop up hot spots. The cause of the fire is under investigation. And officials are searching for a swimmer who may have drowned near the Newton Dam in Cache County Saturday evening. Cache County Sheriff's Office said the 35-year-old man was swimming at approximately 7:45 p.m. when the group he was with noticed they could no longer see him. Officials have been searching during daylight hours, and as of Monday, teams will be using sonar equipment to assist in that search. And time now for a look at the Wasatch Front weather, brought to you by Brio Technologies, Utah's #1 audiovisual specialists, and by Magic Wash, home of the high-tech, long-lasting ceramic car wash with outlets in South Ogden and Layton. If you are looking forward to a small cool down, it's finally here. The first part of the week will be in the high 70s with possible storms expected today. The second part then will be a little bit warmer with highs in the high 80s, but Friday is the only day this week expected to hit 90 degrees. That's it for now. For more news and weather 24/7, go to gephartdaily.com. Todd and Erin, back to you.
Thank you, Daisy. I should talk about New Millennium Financial, and one of the reasons this is important. Talking to a friend of ours, and they're at retirement age, and they're like, hey, we're going to retire, and it's going to be great. Got all their ducks in a row. When they mean that, they're saying, okay, so we have savings, we have money in our house because it's almost paid off. All the kids are out of college, which is great, because if they weren't, they'd cut them off anyway. And they've got all this stuff together. Social Security is just around the corner. How do you put it all together to make sure that when you retire, you only have to do it once? Because that would suck having to come back into the workforce. So if you're looking for someone to put all the blocks together and make this a solid foundation for your retirement, I'm going to write that one down. Just go to utahfinancialplanner.com.
All right, this is such an amazing story. And it's funny because Todd and I have, obviously, our boys have autism. And so you learn as a parent to see more of your kids because they all become your kids. They all start looking neurotypical, and then they start doing movements and stuff. And we saw one of our little, a boy like ours at the pool yesterday. And look, honey, it's one of ours.
That's what she said. She goes, it's one of ours.
Because he was so sweet, and he was kind of flicking and trying to, to touch the water.
And Dad was over there, and obviously this is something he enjoyed doing. Dad right there with him, and how cool that was.
Well, the thing that's so powerful for a lot of people whose children are nonverbal when they're on the spectrum, and now we're at the point where it's literally 1 in every 30 boys here along the Wasatch Front. So I'm sure there's someone in your family, who's on the autism spectrum. But Seth Scott stepped up to the podium at his high school graduation ceremony last week. Now, here's the deal. He almost never speaks, almost never. And Todd and I will know it this is like when they actually say something, you're like, what? What? And, you want to, film it because you're so thrilled. And they didn't know if Seth was going to say anything, but he had indicated, I really want to speak at graduation. He'd done a great job with his grades, so they said, sure. So he gave an unbelievably powerful speech about doing the unexpected.
It was 6 minutes long.
You have to take a look.
Here's 2.
If everyone could please welcome our next speaker, Seth Scott.
Unexpected. That is what I want you to remember. Unexpected. First and foremost, I would imagine that it is entirely I would imagine that to the seniors that know who I am, that it is entirely unexpected that I would be standing here giving this speech. For the friends and family in attendance here tonight, allow me to briefly explain this unexpected choice of speaker. My name is Seth Scott, and I am a student with learning differences. To be more specific, I have autism and a social communication disorder. While I have a vocabulary that you do, and I have the ability to physically produce spoken words, it is not a normal thing for me to electively speak. Just by my being here, speaking to all of you, that alone is unexpected. I imagine you are wondering how then it could possibly be that I am standing here giving a speech. My brother Sim is a 9-year brain tumor survivor who has given dozens of speeches to raise money for various children's charities since 2009. So with his help and that of my mother, we worked sentence by sentence to make my voice heard. Knowing that I want to be heard, I imagine that is unexpected. In front of me, I see athletes, musicians, and scholars, along with shy loners and class clowns. Many of you fit into more than one of those categories.
I had to run the other room so I could hear the audio. Oh.
Seth says he was inspired to give the speech by his brother, who is a brain tumor survivor. Wow, thanks. This family hasn't had challenges. He was a brain tumor survivor, and he speaks for many charities. And so he worked for weeks with family members.
Worked with his mom.
To perfect it. And in this speech, he encourages his fellow grads to follow his example and do the unexpected.
I like the fact that he pointed out the class clowns, too.
I love that.
That was amazing.
By the end of the speech, I guess half the crowd was in tears.
6 minutes.
And stood up and his entire class gave him a standing ovation.
There you go.
But for any parent who's waited for your kid to
you don't
blossom,
have to do this. Okay, I made it this far. Okay, fine. Christopher's.
Seth, you totally wrong.
Let's do the Christopher's giveaway, for goodness sake. All right, so this is not the giveaway. This is actually qualifying someone. And what we have is a beautiful dinner for 4 at Christopher's Prime Steakhouse and Grill, which is just...
everything taken care of for you. You just go and eat and be taken care of and pampered, and you laugh and talk to your friends that maybe you haven't seen forever.
So just think about a mediocre meal and then make a really incredible meal over here. And this is what you're used to. And over here is Christopher's, and it's unbelievable. Just share the show. That's all you have to do.
That's it. It's
That's
simple.
it?
Okay.
All right.
As a matter of fact, if you're on the Get Part Daily or Get Part Approved Facebook pages, that's great. If you're on the Todd and Erin, go for it. And it can be any time of the day or night, whenever you're watching. We always do this every week. So believe me, we'll just pick a nice fresh share, and it could be you.
All right, coming up next,
Yes.
Sex in the Laundry Room.
There's been jokes about that, but I don't
Coming
know how
up
literal
next.
this is.
It's next.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're brought to you by Fink & McGregor. Mortgages made simple. Just head to fink-mcgregor.com. Take 4 minutes to answer some questions, and you'll get a great idea about mortgages that you're eligible for. And by Stay Fit Wellness Clinic. Go get a personalized health analysis. This is the time to get back in shape. Feel better, feel younger, and without a ton of new medications at stayfitwellnessclinic.com.
All right, thank you very much. Before we get started with having sex in the laundry room.
This is like the meanest thing I have ever seen ever.
Now, I don't usually, no, I just tell you the story, shall I? There's a guy named Eric. Eric, he is an
Abramowitz. Eric Abramowitz.
Right, and he is a musician. A very good musician, as a matter of fact. And he was singing right now, playing at another college and still waiting for his big chance. He was playing at McGill University at the time. Mm-hmm. He had a 2-year scholarship, which he was...
This is pretty impressive. I mean, anyone whose kid is getting a music scholarship, you know they're practicing like 8 hours a day. It is like enormously, enormously competitive.
Where he really wanted to go is Colburn Conservatory of Music in Los Angeles.
Oh, wow.
They only accept 2 grants a year, 2 people who get scholarships.
That's like a step above Berklee College of Music. It's like the Harvard for music colleges.
This is like room, board, schools, the classes. Everything that you need is $50,000 a year, and he got it. He got a 2-year full scholarship paid. One
That's
of
incredible.
2 people. It was beautiful. Mm-hmm. He had high hopes.
Well, yeah.
His girlfriend at the time wasn't so great on him leaving.
Well, but you have to. This is
a
thing you do.
She intercepted the email from Colburn and basically changed it and rewrote it.
Are you kidding me?
That showed that he had been rejected from this school.
What kind of a lunatic would do that? Oh my God. That destroys his... Oh. So what happened?
So he goes to the other school, and he's playing and doing his thing, moving on, thinking, I didn't get that chance, but okay. A couple of the guys go, hey, why didn't you take your scholarship? And he goes, what? And he goes, the scholarship. You got the full deal. Why didn't you take it? Why are you here? And he said, no, I didn't get it. I got rejected. And they go, that's not what we heard.
Oh, my God.
He had since broken up with his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Before this.
I'm sure if she was the kind of person who would do this to someone she claimed to love, then I'm sure there's many reasons to break up with her.
Because instead of getting the full ride, the full meal deal, he got a $5,000 grant scholarship, and he was kind of ticked.
How could you not be? You just destroyed. Okay, well, would they take him back because it wasn't his fault? I mean,
no, he's already like a year and a half into the program. So he took her to court.
I think I would have set her on fire. I mean, I shouldn't even joke about that. That's just so awful. But that's like, how could you have done that? And this is past the event where it's too late to do anything about it.
I just don't understand why you would do that to someone. And thinking that you
claim that you love.
Even at one time, even if you were broken up, it's like to do that. So they went to college. They went to court, rather. Good. She was found for $265,000.
He's never going to get it, but that's what they think it was worth.
Never. And this is based on, because he would have had this incredible career. My friend got a full scholarship to, I forget which, Juilliard. And he was a tuba player. And he got a full scholarship. He gets in it. He ends up joining the Boston Pops. And he's played with them, the orchestra. He's played with them for like 35 years.
This is Jim's kid, right?
Yeah. A tuba player. And this guy, so they took that into consideration because he would have been that kind of high-end clarinet player, that the world wanted. And so basically that's... and he'll never see a penny.
No, he'll never see a penny. But I'm glad that they did that because at least there's something.
If you look up the B word in the dictionary,
oh no, that's a monster.
There's a picture of her.
Why couldn't I still think the other college could have reached out after knowing all this and the publicity and
how horrible
and
is
say,
that?
look, we'll swoop in and.
Oh my gosh! I hope he succeeds.
Wow, that's brutal.
Because talking about being derailed.
You know what, though? He sounds like a really smart, tenacious kid. He obviously was to qualify for that in the first place. So I have to believe he's still going to be successful. But, oh, my gosh. I can't even imagine anything more horrible as a mother. It's like
I am just horrified by that.
I was really hoping there'd be a happy ending where the other college swooped in and said, no, of course you can still come.
In my day... we got letters. Did you get a letter about when you could go to school? Mm-hmm. And you opened it up, and you were
and if it's thick or thin, if you got rejected or
really?
They accept you.
I didn't know that. No.
No, because if it's thick, they have all your application paperwork in there. And if it was thin, of course, you kids now, I know. And if it was thin, it's one sheet going, no, you can't come. I got 2 rejection letters, and I got 4 yes letters.
Wow. So when people do what do they call it when they do their calling? When they gather with the family and they get their
talking about the mission calling?
Yeah, mission calling.
Mission call?
So is there a thick and thin thing there? Like, you're going to Murray. You're going to Murray and has an arrow.
No, it's just one page. I mean, one way or another, it's just telling you, hey, you're going here.
I got accepted to the University of Massachusetts, and I actually went to orientation, and I drove out in western Massachusetts. And I went there, and I looked around, and I went, "This is not for me." It's
huge school.
It was a town. It was huge.
Yeah.
And I remember because I didn't have a lot of gumption back then. I was not really confrontational. So I just left, and I got home. My parents were on vacation. I said okay, and I had the other letter, a Unity College in the middle of Maine, in the middle of nowhere. But
it was forestry and wildlife management. That's everything you loved at the time.
And I called.
That you still love.
I called him up, and I said, "Hey, I've been out of the country.
I've been in Guam."
And it's a private school, so they didn't give a crap anyway. They were like, "Yeah, you got money? Yeah, you can come. Yeah, come on." And that's my college acceptance thing.
UMass would have been so wrong for
you.
You
my
would have
gosh.
been a completely different person. I never would have met you. I never would have got to be with you.
I would have been so lost.
No, that was a good thing. Now explain sex and laundry.
Sex and laundry. Thanks for bringing it up. Here we go. There's a gentleman.
Now, is there a correlation here or what?
Sort sort of. Let me go over this. Eating blueberries, skipping the odd breakfast, having sex twice a week, and changing your bed sheets might be all the key to a healthy life.
Explain this.
Contrast, going to the gym and feeling the burn does not really determine your wellness. Something else does.
Are they? Is he speaking of like overall global wellness of the body and mind and soul-ish?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's saying what is important to find that sense of well-being. He's got a book. It's called Little Book of Health. A little bit different. It's a little bit different. Doing laundry and having sex are two keys to a long life.
Laundry is very satisfying.
You don't have to do them at the same time. I should say that.
It can be done.
Could be, depending on the kids. Where are they? So it's basically taking the old myths and debunking them. All right, so here are some things to do. Mm-hmm. It says consider intermittent fasting. Kind of reset your body.
Every now and then?
Yeah, it can reset your body, reduce your weight and the body fat.
I do that. It's hard, but yeah.
Not crazy, but
you
just,
can do it.
let her go. Sit less, stand more. How easy is this? Regular standing reduces the risk of type 2 diabetes. Do hand grips.
Why hand grips?
I don't know, but I have such a joke for this, but I won't say it. While exercise is good for your blood pressure, some say that basically after 4 weeks of hand grip squeezing, people had a better feeling about themselves.
Maybe it's a feeling of control or strength or...
Could be. They're just not doing enough laundry.
Move on.
Sex is the great stress buster and can reduce the risk of heart attack. Don't you want to save your partner's life? So basically, this is what you need to do. And the whole thing about laundry is that feeling when you go and you have new sheets. Remember, you have new. Of course, you do.
So
you
deeply,
go,
but it's
you
so
always
deeply
say
satisfying, and you put them on, and they're all smooth and they're wonderful on the bed.
And Erin will come into the main room out of the bedroom, and she said, "And you have to do this. You have clean sheets for you to enjoy." And it does. It gives you that sense of everything's okay. You know?
I like the little bits. I think that's really smart.
It is. I think.
All right, Father's Day. I'm sorry because I sucked for you for Father's Day.
You're fine.
No, I made the
Thanks
kids
for
and I
the
made
car. That was great. Lamborghini didn't see that coming.
kids. And I made you a banner, and then Zoe and I made him lemon bars.
We have a deal where we make these banners. We have this big roll of paper, so everybody paints on it and sends messages. We did it for Erin for Mother's Day, and we tape it up in the house, and it looks really cool.
And I actually made dinner, which...
You did?
Well, you pulled all the food out, and you were like, what, you were actually going to cook it? And I went, yes, I told you I was going to cook it.
And she had these big T-bone steaks, and I went, I want mine, like, really rare.
Raw.
Because then I knew I was safe. Okay. So
was that why?
Because I was looking forward to it so much. Because you were awesome, and you cooked it perfectly. Plus the fact that we had mussels... which were unbelievable, which you cooked perfectly.
Well, no, I suck, because you have no idea.
What?
Sotheby's annual New York June auction. Sotheby's, the
auction house.
Auction house.
Yeah.
Apparently, I am a complete loser.
Why is that?
Can you put up that picture, Mike? Do we have it?
You have a picture of you being a loser? What is that?
This is the Ulysses Nardin Sonata Streamline. Estimate $20,000 to be offered in important watches. Not only does the watch make a bold statement, but it would help you. This is where I love where they're trying to be relatable. Help you get your kids to sports practice on time. I'm going to buy you a $20,000 Ulysses watch so you can get our kids to sports practice on time. And every single one of the items on the Sotheby's list is like that level of insanity, and you're just like, oh, there's one that's a full-bodied wine for $780,000.
Excuse me, if you wore, I was a crook, and I saw you walking down the street with that on your wrist.
Well, you'd have to be a pretty educated crook.
The first thing I would do is go get a machete. Because that arm's coming off. If I was a crook, okay, I would just cut your arm off and run with it.
It's like it's that point that I found most endearing is like where they were really trying to make it relatable. Buy this $20,000 watch for your husband for Father's Day, and he can have the kids to sports on time. Honey, if you can afford a $20,000, which your butler's taking the kids to sports.
Absolutely true. Mm-hmm. $20,000 watch.
Man, I suck.
$20,000 watch.
And they were like being all enticing, like 15 Father's Day gifts for under $15,000.
So I did get ripped off then. But I did have steak and mussels.
See, you got that going for you. Sorry, babe. I wish I had been smoother.
All right, coming up next, Bill Murray is rocking it. And
this is the coolest new career path.
This is so him, and he's got some partners doing this. And you can actually go partake in this, and we'll tell you what it is coming up next.
We're brought to you by Stay Fit Wellness Clinic. If you're tired of feeling sick and tired, it's time to make an appointment with Dr. Bowden for a new holistic health plan to make you feel better, lose weight, sleep well at StayFitWellnessClinic.com. And by Magic Wash with 2 locations in South Ogden and Layton. Come in for the ceramic car wash that keeps your car cleaner longer by sheeting all the dirt and the water off your nice shiny finish.
Welcome back to the Todd and Erin Daily Stream. And why do I find this so enjoyable? I love it when so many celebrities go out and they make all this money and they invest it and they get ripped off. It just happens. NFL football players.
It always surprises me. Is like, don't you have business managers for this stuff?
Right.
They tell you, honey, this is going to be wrong for you.
65%, I think this number is close. 65% of NFL players go bankrupt in their first 3 years. Because, why?
They've never been taught to manage their money.
And they don't have people that around they can trust. Bill Murray has found people. Brad Krager and Mike Veek.
What are Mike Veek and Brad Krager and Bill Murray doing?
They're doing this great thing. They're taking an office building. They're turning it into a huge bar. They've got an incredible big parking lot. They've made a stage. They've made sitting areas. And then they have places for food trucks all along the perimeter. They're able to plug in and everything.
So it's like a food truck park.
It is a food truck park.
That is awesome. I want that.
And it's going to be opening. It's in Texas, I believe. Yes, it is. South Carolina. And so what a great thing.
I totally want to go there.
It's not his first. They're going to call it Food Truckarama.
You know, he's so weird that I could well, not weird. He's quirky. I could totally see him going, I'd like to have a food truck park.
No
and
kidding.
And he's the kind of man who can afford to have one. I could totally see him do that because that's funny. I would like to have one.
Him and his group have done 2 Caddyshack outposts. It's kind of tacky, but you know, he's got that going for him. Also doing a container bar made out of sea containers.
That would be cool.
They've got all these projects that are going extremely well, but
that's
Food
so fun.
Truckarama, you can't beat that.
Wow.
Which is awesome. All right, Chris.
Chris Hardwick. Now, you probably know him. He does Talking Dead right after Walking Dead. He's also a huge staple at Comic-Con. He moderates a lot of the shows, does a ton of stuff. Very funny. He used to date a girl who is listed as a famous cosplayer. I don't know her very well, but they had broken up some time ago. She had Chloe Dykstra. She had, I guess, cheated on him, and then it had been a very ugly breakup. It was interesting because at the time I follow him on Twitter, and there was one night for some reason I was scrolling and something came up for him that was really ugly, and then it disappeared.
From his point of view?
A tweet from him that was really ugly, and then it disappeared, and he went, sorry, that was meant as a private message. And then right after that, I think is when it was announced that they broke up, and I went, oh, okay, I guess they were having a Twitter discussion that kind of went public by accident. She just wrote an article where she accused him of sexual assault and abuse. And because of that, they have immediately ended his game show, The Wall, on NBC, and they've pulled him from AMC and from Comic-Con. So that's a big thing. This essentially just finished everything. And he said, as a future father, as a future husband, as a son, I would have done any of these things. But that was pretty brutal. She shared some really disturbing allegations. It was pretty specific. So it's done. And here's where I am. This is a hard one for me, and I don't know. This is a hard one because it's like, now the allegation's there, and we've seen this before, and the man stepped down instantly. He was like, You got me. I mean, and it's usually multiple.
You didn't hear any victim shaming.
Yeah, and there's
right?
multiple allegations. And no, I am not. If these things have happened, that it's awful.
Right. And you
it's
believe every one of the accusations? Probably not. But you should take it seriously. Absolutely.
The thing is this, though. This is brutal because he's finished. So this will go to court probably if he feels like he is innocent. And it will...
It's a tough one.
Let's say he came out of this, and Todd and I are always big on this. We're always very, very big on if we do see something where someone was redeemed or the court ruled in their favor or it came out that it was a false accusation, we always try to say it because everyone wants to talk about the horrifying details of the accusation. No one ever wants to talk about, well, no, this was proved wrong.
Right.
But even if this was proved wrong,
it's so hard.
He's over.
I'm so disappointed.
Everything's done.
Right.
You know, I mean, he had 5 different projects, and he's finished.
I use Kevin Spacey as an example. He was accused. There was no real response from his people. He just went away. And there was no fighting it, and there was no reaction. Now, maybe that's going to be coming up or something, but I'm looking at this and thinking...
He issued a statement absolutely refuting everything she said.
But then he went away.
Well, no, he was sent away. He's not participating in anything. This happened over the weekend.
Oh, I was talking about Spacey.
Oh, Spacey, yeah.
So you know what? You can't make a judgment. You don't want anybody to be blamed for anything, and you just hope that it all gets taken out in the wash and handled that way with the truth and the innocence and the guilty. But it's really difficult not to jump in and go, oh, that dirty, rotten.
So this is the one where I'm torn out because in some of them they were so clear and so obvious, and the actor or actress, there's actresses too who are abusive, just threw up their hands and went, I'm out, because they know there was nothing they could do to refute it. They knew that they had them. But but now it's at the point where you're gone until you can prove that it never happened, and by then, how many years passed, and can you ever bring your career back?
The only thing I'm going to say is that AMC, the other shows, I don't believe would can you, and I think maybe they put you on hold.
That is a good point.
But they're not going to can you unless they have something that they've seen that is irrefutable. But once again...
That is a good point.
Once again, it's not my business to figure out who's, let that work.
Because Walking Dead's the number one TV show, like in the country, has been for years. And so there's an enormous amount of power there. So you're right. Would they have dumped him off Talking Dead unless...
Don't know.
No, that's a good point too, though.
I think we all struggle with it, don't we? Automatically, you want to go to the rescue of someone, and then you got to stop and go. Okay, wait a minute. You got to give equal.
So there's no
balance.
outcome to this story, and I'm sorry. It's more like that happened, and it's now what happens because it happened. But it is interesting to me. It's like we are now at this point where you're done. But you've got a good point. Maybe they have information we didn't.
All right, after information with Daisy, we're going to be talking about items that you buy that actually pay for themselves and the stuff you use around the house every single day. We'll do that, but first it's time for information.
All right, let's go to Daisy. She's in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom. She is brought to you by the New Millennium Financial Group. This is the time to ask the right questions while the economy is booming to make sure that you've got a good retirement. Go to utahsfinancialplanner.com. Also by Stay Well Fitness Center. This is a great time to make sure that you're going and getting all of those miserable chronic injuries fixed. And by Fink & McGregor. Mortgage is made simple. Just go to fink-mcgregor.com. Within 4 minutes, they will have ideas and options for you. And you want to go there mainly because it's not going to cost tens of thousands of dollars to get a mortgage, and you don't have to wait months and months. Fink-McGregor.com. Daisy, my dear, what's going on today?
Thanks, Todd and Erin. Hello, everyone. Here's what's making news in the U.S. and around the world on Monday, June 18th on GephartDaily.com. 20 people were injured and 1 suspect died in a shooting early Sunday during an arts festival in Trenton, New Jersey, authorities said. 4 people, including a 13-year-old boy, are in critical condition after the event that drew several hundred people, police said. The shooting began around 2:45 a.m. Sunday at the Art All Night Trenton 2018 festival at the Roebling Wireworks building. Several individuals opened fire in the venue, police said. One, a 33-year-old man, died and another was taken into police custody. Multiple weapons were recovered. A van carrying 12 undocumented immigrants in Texas near the border with Mexico crashed during a pursuit with police and border agents, killing 5, officials confirmed Sunday. The incident occurred in Big Wells, Texas, about 50 miles from the Mexico-U.S. border. According to KSAT TV, Border Patrol agents attempted to pull the van over, but the driver didn't do so. Dimmitt County Sheriff's deputies also pursued the van, which was allegedly going more than 100 miles an hour when the driver lost control and caused it to tip over. 4 people were dead when emergency responders arrived, and a 5th died later at a nearby hospital. All of the deceased were immigrants. And First Lady Melania Trump issued a statement Sunday saying she hates to see children being separated from their families at the border, according to her spokeswoman. She called on a bipartisan solution to end the separation of migrant children from their parents at the U.S. border in a statement to CNN issued by her communications director. Mrs. Trump hates to see the children separated from their families and hopes both sides of the aisle can finally come together to achieve successful immigration reform, the statement said. She believes we need to be a country that follows all laws, but also a country that governs with heart. And time now for a look at the Wasatch Front weather, brought to you by Brio Technologies, Utah's #1 audio-visual specialists, and by Magic Wash, home of the high-tech, long-lasting ceramic car wash with outlets in South Ogden and Layton. If you were looking forward to a small cool down, it's finally here. The first part of the week is going to be in the high 70s with possible storms expected today. Then the second part will be a little warmer with highs in the high 80s. But Friday's the only day of the week that will hit 90. The weekend looks to be in the low 80s. For more news 24/7, check out GephartDaily.com. Todd and Erin, back to you.
Thank you, Daisy. Fink and McGregor, Mortgages Made Simple. We've talked about this before. If you're buying a home, or if you're selling a home, you actually know this because someone will make a bid on your home. Homes are going so quickly right now, and they come in and they go, "Oh, we'd like to buy your home, but we're not qualified yet."
Like, goodbye.
Person second in position says, "We're qualified. Fink and McGregor took care of it. Here are papers ready to fly. Let's do this." They get the house. I mean, it's unbelievable. That's how fast it's going. And if you're a seller, that's what you're looking for. If you're a buyer, you need to go Fink and McGregor. If you go there, you can take a 4-minute deal. They're going to ask you some information and see what kind of mortgages are going to work for you. And trust me, a 600-point credit rating, they can do it for you. Even a little bit under, they can make it happen. Just go to Fink and McGregor for more information.
All right, things that pay for themselves. These are the things that you would think, oh, why am I going to spend money on this? But it turns actually to be an investment, and it's stuff that's fairly innocuous.
I know, this is really cool. Okay, LED lights.
I hate them.
The LED lights.
But they're so useful.
But they're getting better and better. The different colors, the softness, the real color, the hard white, all those different things. All right, so LEDs. Now, so a $1 incandescent bulb lasts for 1,200 hours. Stay with me. It requires 21 changes over 23 years and uses $180 worth of electricity, a total cost of $201 for one light in your home. The LED, on the other hand, costs $8 or less to purchase. It lasts 25,000 hours. It uses $30 of electricity over the same 23-year span.
Wow.
$8 will save you that much money. So you spend a little bit more, you never have to change it. By the time it blows out, you'll be in a home someplace chewing oatmeal, trying to find your glasses. Streaming services, everyone's doing this. Everyone's
smart.
Everyone's cutting the cable. $90, $110, all this stuff for movies and such, and everyone's doing it. Everyone's jumping to all the different streaming services, such as we have
Netflix and Roku and the Scandal Channel. Yeah, we've got like 20 of them.
So everyone's out on that. And the cheapest ones that cost like $50 on cable will cost you $7 a month.
Easily.
Programmable thermostats.
Oh, yeah, that will.
Now it's so easy because it's like, and we have one and we haven't programmed it. I feel like a jerk because
Well, no, it's smart. The Department of Energy says just set the thermostat to dial down the temperature about 10 degrees for the 8 hours a day you're out or you're sleeping.
And when you're sleeping,
there's no reason to heat or cool the house.
And when
that
you're
much.
sleeping, that lower temperature is actually better for your sleep.
So, I mean, it's pretty interesting. Cheap programmable thermostats about $40, and they say that you'll end up saving around $200 a year in energy bills. And then the space heaters.
Space heaters are interesting, as opposed to heating, and you're thinking, oh, the electricity. Well, hang on. You're heating a certain area like an office, and you have by your feet or whatever. You can keep the rest of the house cold. This is during the winter. And same thing with fans in the summer. And the amount it lowers, you're not heating your entire house.
You're saving 1% off your energy bill for every 1 degree you lower your thermostat.
And the first thing I think of when I'm looking at this picture is, what happened to the baseboard on the left, and why didn't they finish painting?
That is so you.
That's just me.
That is
I guess.
so you.
Space heater though. A coffee maker. Obviously, you know what this is. You buy a coffee maker for $20, and here they say, you go out and spend $2 for a cup of coffee. Where do you buy a cup of coffee?
You go to Dunkin' Donuts. What's the cheapest cup
It's
of coffee?
like $2.50.
At least.
No, Dunkin' Donuts is driving me. Non-sponsorship should be.
Should be.
But you get your Frappo Moco Loco half foamy, half diet jumbo drink at Grande at Star Wars, and it's like $5. So whatever they're thinking about $2, they must live in Guam.
Yeah, my chai tea latte, if I get a grande, is usually around $6-ish.
I always say big, by the way, large, and they go, oh, it's grande. And I
Just
go,
out of spite, right?
no, it's large. Just get me that. And when they ask me my name, I tell them it's Santa Claus.
You're so childish.
Or Waldo. Waldo's even better because they call your name out. Waldo, where's?
Waldo?
Or from Ferris Bueller. Bueller.
I could respect that.
Bueller. So that's an easy one. Battery charging. This is interesting. If you use a lot of batteries, you could save so much money because it costs you $10 or $12. But if you get a chargeable one with the chargeable batteries, you're saving a lot. And you're saving the environment. Bottled water, obviously.
I used to have the big old clunky Walkman when I'd go running. I ran through 4 batteries like every week because I ran 50 miles a week. So, yeah, when I got the rechargeable kind, it's a pain in the butt. You have to recharge them every day, but it's such a difference.
But you're saving the environment.
Such a difference.
And your wallet. A gallon of water, if you buy it, bottles or whatever, it's about $7. About $7 for a month, it says here. Not sure if that's true.
I think it's higher.
But anyway, get a filter. And they go, there you go. Anyway, home gym equipment. All I'm doing right now is hanging clothes on it, so I'm not even going to talk about it because it makes me want to cry. All right, what else do you want to talk about?
Do you want to finish off with the police officer story because he's wonderful?
All right, let's do that. We're going to go to the police guy. And where does this happen? This happens, you go ahead and read that.
No, I just thought this was
We're going to
beautiful.
say goodbye, and then we're going to show you this.
This was actually in the Sichuan province in China, where apparently they still respect their elders. But a gentleman was trying to cross a busy street, and anyone who has visited China recently has seen the brutality of traffic there knows they're not stopping for you.
And it's 6 lanes across, and you'll see the gentleman. In the time that he gets to walk, he makes it through 1 lane. And he's got 5 more ahead of him.
There's honking,
but
and he's shaking.
They're trying to be patient with him. And then, is it a police officer?
And a police officer comes up to him, and he says,
okay.
Let me help you. So he crouches down in front of the old gentleman.
Leave it there.
Okay.
Let's watch. You guys have a great day. We're going to see you tomorrow on the Todd and Erin Daily Stream. Watch this.